just want to let you all know that you're living in one version of our science fiction fantasy world. The one that this is the universe that includes having Elon Musk, who is our mad genius millionaire, who's basically developing commercial space flight. So it'll be interesting to see like which time we branch off on. Do we get to go to the moon? Do we get to go to Mars? Do we get to go to the asteroid belt? Do we get to like kill ourselves in a nuclear furnace first? But we're getting closer. So for all the science fiction buffs, we're out there. All right, so can I steal the screen? No, you're fine. I changed my mind. Yeah, so the SpaceX, so they actually did their first heavy launch vehicle recently, SpaceX did. Actually went surprisingly well. I encourage everybody to watch the video of it. The interesting thing is that he's actually on track, which is amazing if you have followed any of Elon Musk's previous projections. You can see here, this is, last year he basically was talking about how he wanted to start launching rockets to Mars. So you can see here the first one was in 2018 is the first launch window, which is what we just had. This actually is the when he actually was going to build the really big rocket called what was it called? The Mars vehicle, also the interstellar space vehicle. This is, by comparison, that's the Saturn V at the far end, and then that's the one he wanted to build. It turned out that was a little bit overly ambitious because the only reason to have a rocket that big is to go to Mars, and there's no really way to fund that. So earlier last year, he came up with the BFR, which is the working name for it. Reminds me of the BFG from Doom. Has the same kind of feel to it. It's not really easy to see, but I suppose the original one was twice as big as the Dragon. The heavy launch vehicle, which they launched recently, is the third one down. So the one he wanted to build was twice as big, and the one he gets to build is only 2/3 as big, or 2/3 taller. So it's not as impressive, but that's designed to go to, the BFR is designed to do Mars, outer orbital missions, and to provide service to, basically it replaces their entire lineup. And it's basically it's kind of like basically a little bit best of both worlds. It's not as big as the really big rocket, but it's not as small as it's bigger than everybody else's rockets. And it's designed to kind of get him to the moon, essentially. It's also designed to do tanker missions, so you can launch it up there, and it'll have basically like half a fuel tank left, and you can actually use the cargo capacity to then refuel the next rocket, and then use that rocket fuel to then do a moon mission, which can then, without having to refuel on the moon, launch itself back to Earth. He's also got like a space shuttle style large spacecraft placement rocket that actually has a bomb bay doors, and he's got the space craft version, which is designed to do extra Earth orbit stuff. So basically, the idea is you build one of these, you launch parts up into low Earth orbit or low Earth orbit, you build up your rocket ship, and you fly it to Mars, because everybody wants to go to Mars. I mean, I want to go to Mars. Does anybody else want to go to Mars? Okay. We got some Mars fans out here. So it's interesting because if he keeps to his timeline, by 2020, he's going to make another attempt at a Mars mission. The first one launched his where is it? There it is. Launched his Cherry Red rover to Mars. I'm not sure why you would do that, but I think he's created the world's best collector's item. The first person who can safely capture this thing from its orbit in space and get it back into their showroom will not only be well, I mean, it basically means that you have to basically have a whole spacefaring society to be able to capture that thing and then like put that into your showroom. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to somebody doing that. Well, I probably won't be live for it, but somebody in the future capturing that payload and then putting that in a museum place someplace. Because I think that would be kind of awesome to kind of as an Easter egg to as the history of rocketry kind of goes all full circle. It gets launched, somebody recovers it, and then puts it into like maybe the Smithsonian on Mars, which would be neat. So anyways, that's kind of the exciting thing. The rocket launch was pretty fantastic. Just to watch that much. It's basically one of the biggest rocket events that we've had in a long time. And this is a commercial space flight, so it's not beholden to the government or the military. Well, technically it is, but you can actually, like, on the website, they actually, like, it lists the price if you want to launch your own rocket. It's like $69 million. And if you got if you got a couple $1 million just lying around in your pocket, you could launch yourself up, launch whatever you else want in the rocket, like yourself or your, I don't know, statues of things, I don't know, whatever people launch into space. I'm sure satellites are up in that category. So that's, does anybody have any questions or excitements or comments about the amazing world of space? Go ahead. It was actually launched in Florida, and I want to say Cape Canaveral. It actually was launched on the historic launch pad that serviced a lot of the Apollo missions. So it was very historic. Any other questions, comments?